Hey everyone, ready for another deep dive? Today we're taking a look at CRISPR and AI.
Two huge forces in science and tech,
Absolutely. And, we're going to be talking about the potential benefits,
like curing diseases,
improving agriculture.
even tackling climate change. We also
Right.
got to talk about the risks.
Yeah, the ethical side of things can't be ignored.
Correct.
CRISPR, it's a revolutionary tool for gene editing,
Like a molecular scalpel.
making precise changes to DNA.
But the challenge is that our genome, it's not a simple instruction manual.
Okay, so it's complicated.
It's incredibly complex. It's like a giant tapestry with threads woven together.
So just knowing where a gene is doesn't tell us the whole story.
Exactly. It's not like flipping a switch.
So we need to understand how genes work together and how they're affected
By the environment, lifestyle choices,
Yeah.
other genes.
Wow, that sounds super challenging.
It is. And that's where AI comes in. AI is amazing at analyzing huge amounts of data, finding patterns, and making predictions.
So AI can help us understand this giant genetic puzzle,
Exactly. It's like having a superpowered detective
helping us decipher the code.
and predict the consequences of our edits
So CRISPR gives us the tools, and AI gives us the roadmap.
for safe and effective gene editing.
Okay, that makes sense. But how is this actually being used to help people?
Well, one of the most exciting areas is personalized medicine.
Like treatments tailored to your specific genes.
Exactly. AI can analyze your genetic makeup to identify potential risks.
Or predict how you might respond to different treatments.
And then CRISPR can be used to develop therapies that target those vulnerabilities.
Wow, so we're talking about a future where medicine is truly personalized.
Yeah, but it's not just about treating diseases, it's also about preventing them.
So imagine screening for genetic predispositions early on.
And using CRISPR to correct them before they even become a problem.
Okay, so this is huge, but
There are ethical questions we have to address.
right, we're talking about altering the very essence of who we are.
It's powerful technology, and it needs to be used responsibly.
Exactly. We need to make sure these technologies benefit everyone.
And don't make existing inequalities worse.
So access, affordability, ethical oversight, all of that needs to be part of the conversation.
It's a conversation that involves all of us, scientists, ethicists, policymakers, and the public.
So we've covered a lot of ground in this first segment.
We talked about CRISPR, the complexity of the genome, and how AI is helping us.
And we started to think about the ethical side of things, too.
And we're just getting started.
When we come back, we'll dive deeper into how AI is enhancing CRISPR technology.
And explore some of the most exciting breakthroughs happening right now. Welcome back to our deep dive on CRISPR and AI. Before the break, we were talking about this powerful combination and how it's already changing medicine. Personalized therapies, even disease prevention.
Yeah, and we touched on the whole responsible use thing, too, but now I want to get a bit more technical. Like, how is AI actually enhancing CRISPR? It's not like AI is going to med school, right?
Haha, not exactly. But AI does bring some incredible skills to the table. One of the biggest challenges with CRISPR is something called off-target effects. Imagine you're trying to fix a specific part of a bridge, but you accidentally make changes to a different part.
Oh, I see. So it's like CRISPR making a cut in the wrong place.
Yeah, that's a good way to think about it. And it can have unintended consequences.
That sounds a bit scary.
It can be, but that's where AI steps in. AI algorithms can analyze huge amounts of genetic data and predict the likelihood of those off-target effects for different CRISPR designs.
So AI is like a safeguard.
Exactly. It helps scientists choose the most accurate and safe CRISPR system.
Like picking the right tool for the job.
Precisely. But AI can do more than just improve accuracy. It can also help optimize the whole CRISPR process.
Okay, how so?
Well, for example, AI can be used to design more efficient guide RNAs.
Wait, hold on. What are guide RNAs again?
Oh, right. Sorry. I should have explained that guide RNAs are like the instruction manual for CRISPR. They tell the CRISPR system where to cut the DNA.
Ah, okay. So they're like little signposts.
Exactly. And AI can help design those signposts more efficiently. By analyzing tons of data, AI can figure out the best possible sequence for a guide RNA.
So it makes CRISPR more efficient and accurate.
Yeah, it's like having an AI engineer constantly tweaking and improving the CRISPR machinery.
This is fascinating stuff. But are there any real-world examples of AI-enhanced CRISPR being used today?
Absolutely. It's already making a difference in the fight against diseases. For
Right.
example, researchers are using it to develop new therapies for genetic disorders like cystic fibrosis.
Cystic fibrosis, that's a serious lung disease, right?
Yes, it affects the lungs and digestive system. And by using AI to predict the best CRISPR edits, scientists are getting closer to effective treatments.
So we could potentially cure diseases that were once thought to be incurable.
That's the hope, and it goes beyond just treating diseases. AI-enhanced CRISPR can also be used to develop new diagnostic tools.
Tools that can detect genetic mutations earlier.
Exactly, and that means earlier interventions and better outcomes for patients.
Wow, this is truly revolutionary. It sounds like AI-enhanced CRISPR could change medicine forever.
It really could. And the applications go beyond just healthcare. Remember we talked about AI-guided CRISPR in agriculture?
Yeah, you mentioned developing crops that are more resistant to pests and diseases.
Right. AI can help us identify the genes that could make crops more resistant to things like insects, fungi, or viruses.
And then CRISPR can be used to make those changes.
Exactly. We could create hardier, more productive crops.
So a future with more abundant and sustainable food supplies.
That's the goal. And it's not just about increasing yields. We can also develop crops that are more nutritious and more tolerant to drought and extreme weather.
Especially important with climate change.
Absolutely. But let's not get carried away. We have to remember the ethical considerations.
Right, these are powerful tools and we need to use them responsibly.
Couldn't agree more. The potential is huge, but we need to proceed with caution.
So how do we navigate this ethical landscape? How do we make sure AI-enhanced CRISPR is used for good?
That's the million-dollar question, and it deserves a thoughtful discussion.
Well, let's have that discussion when we come back for the final part of our deep dive into CRISPR and AI. And we're back for the final part of our deep dive into CRISPR and AI. We've been talking about the incredible potential of these technologies, but, we can't ignore the ethical side of things.
Right. We have to talk about the responsibilities that come with this kind of power. Altering the building blocks of life. It's not something to take lightly.
Definitely not.
Yeah.
So let's dive into those ethical considerations. What are some of the biggest concerns surrounding AI-enhanced CRISPR? Where do we even begin with something this complex?
Well, one of the most pressing concerns is unintended consequences. Even with AI, helping improve the accuracy of CRISPR, there's always a chance of those off-target effects.
Right, we talked about those earlier.
Yeah, we might accidentally edit genes in ways we didn't anticipate.
And those changes could have ripple effects for individuals, even future generations.
Exactly. It's like making changes to a delicate ecosystem without fully understanding all the connections.
That's a scary thought.
It is. And another concern is, making social inequalities worse.
Like a genetic divide.
Exactly. Imagine these advanced gene therapies only being available to the wealthy.
That would be terrible. People who can't afford these treatments would be left behind.
Exactly. We need to make sure these technologies benefit everyone.
Access and affordability are crucial.
Absolutely. And then there's the whole question of, what makes a desirable genetic trait?
Yeah. Who decides what should be edited and why?
Right. We have to be careful about trying to engineer perfect humans.
Like a sci-fi dystopia.
Exactly. Diversity is a strength, not a weakness.
Trying to eliminate variations could actually harm our species.
And these ethical considerations go beyond just humans, too.
Right. We talked about AI-guided CRISPR in agriculture.
Yeah. What happens if we create super pest-resistant crops? How does that impact biodiversity and ecosystems?
It's all connected. One change can have huge, unforeseen consequences.
Exactly. We have to approach these technologies with humility and respect for the complexity of life.
So how do we move forward responsibly? How do we ensure AI-enhanced CRISPR is used for good?
Well, it's a tough challenge, but there are a few key things we can do. First, we need strong regulations and oversight.
To prevent misuse.
Exactly. Clear guidelines for research development and clinical applications.
And mechanisms for accountability and transparency.
Right. Everyone needs to be playing by the rules.
So we need a framework to ensure these technologies are developed and used ethically.
Absolutely. Second, we need open and honest dialogue about the ethical implications.
Involving everyone, scientists, ethicists, policymakers, and the public.
We need diverse perspectives to navigate these complex issues.
It's about making sure these technologies reflect our shared values.
Exactly. And finally, we need to invest in education and public outreach.
So people understand both the potential and the risks.
Informed decisions are better decisions.
This has been an incredible journey. We've learned so much about the science, the potential, the ethics of AI-enhanced CRISPR. It's clear this technology could change the world.
It really could, and we have the power to shape that future.
It's up to all of us to ensure these tools are used wisely for the benefit of humanity.
Well said.
It's a call to action for everyone to engage in this conversation and help steer innovation towards a better future. Thanks for joining us on the Deep Dive.